Mom. I'm on top of the world.
Yes, she is. And she's done it once again. After a few months since the first stunt, fearless skydiver, stuntwoman and adventurer and friend Nicole Smith-Ludwig is back in her flight attendant role, perched on top of the 2,722-foot Burj Khalifa in Dubai. But this time with the biggest passenger aircraft available, the Airbus A380, thundering past for this epic commercial. Holding a series of Love Actually inspired placards, this brave flight attendant joked, "I'm still here," before displaying the words, "Finally, here come my friends." And moments later, a humongous Emirates A380 Airbus with special paint scheme screams past the smiling stuntwoman, seemingly mere meters away from the top of the tower. But don't worry, it was a mile away, and the advert was Emirates Airlines' latest promotion for the Dubai Expo 2020. So I'm trying to get Nicole on the show, watch this space. So once again, the team and I have been researching the best, most important and latest air sports and aviation stories just for you. So sit back, relax and enjoy another episode of Air Sports News. Oh, and don't forget to click the like, share and subscribe on our social media channels. It really, really helps. I'm your host, Regan Tetlow. Let's get into it. So we promised you last week to check back and give you the latest in the 44th New Zealand Open Championships of hang gliding. There are 3 days until the end, but we already have some fresh results. 36 pilots in the Class 1 category and 10 pilots in sport, mainly from New Zealand, already have flown in 3 tasks. The shortest one was 27 kilometres, but the longest one was almost 80 kilometres with 2 turning points. After the third task in open class, Matthew Barlow was on the lead, leading in front of second place Steve Banniker and in third Ollie Derry. These standings are also the official results for the Karoo Cup, a smaller event preceded in the New Zealand Nationals. For the sport category so far, the official standings are Gary Turner in first, Steve Cronin second and Rod Stewart in third, but the competition is still open. Now some big news for general aviation fans. Last week, teenage pilot Zara Rutherford completed her solo flight, becoming the youngest woman to fly solo around the world following a 5-month challenge. 19-year-old Zara Rutherford landed in Krochik-Waregem in Belgium 2 months later than originally planned as a result of adverse weather. During the trip, she spent a month stuck in Nome, Alaska, and 14 days in Russia. After landing, she wrapped herself in the British and Belgian flags and told reporters, "It's just really crazy. I haven't quite processed it." She told a press conference that she was glad she took on the challenge of flying 32,000 miles alone. The circumnavigation included more than 60 stops across 5 continents and began on the 18th of August 21. The British-Belgian aviator, whose parents are both pilots, said she hoped to inspire other girls to get into STEM, which are science, technology, engineering and maths occupations. Massive congratulations, Zara. So great times for British aviation? I think so, because our second news item is a great announcement for the Spirit of Innovation, which is the Rolls-Royce extremely fast electric aircraft. Take a look. This absolutely beautiful aircraft, which officially became the world's fastest all-electric aircraft with the recent confirmation of 2 speed records, now verified by the FAI, and this aircraft was recorded at 556 kilometers an hour over a 3-kilometer course, which is 213 kilometers an hour faster than the previous record holder. It also completed a 15-kilometer run at an average speed of 532 kilometers an hour, breaking the prior record by 293 kilometers an hour, and these results are just unimaginable. A third record for the fastest climb to 3,000 meters, which the Spirit of Innovation reportedly accomplished in 202 seconds. It's awaiting verification. So my first special guest this week has around 10,000 jumps, being in the business for 18 years now. He loves big waves and is a multiple world record holder with the 2.219 way, 3.217 and total break 2.130 way. He became US National 4-way champion in 2019 with SDC Rhythm XP after his horrific accident the year before. This is the unstoppable Doug Barron.
Are you training with 4-way? Is it the rebuild of the team?
Yep. So we have done 4 days of jumping and 4 days of tunnel thus far with the new lineup. And we are about to get it back in the tunnel for another 8 days or something. And just continue to move forward. So yeah, it's the new rhythm lineup and we are super excited.
Can we talk a little bit about your injury first? Can we talk about that? Do you want to tell people what happened, though?
Yeah, so I had an AAD activation while I was landing and caused a 2-out scenario, and essentially both canopies stalled, and I fell onto asphalt, kind of destroyed my right tibia, broke my left heel in half, and broke my back.
You were in a bad way, man. It was for most people that would have been them out of the sport. And it wasn't. I mean, how did you get back to flying health? Tell us about how you recuperated from that.
Yeah. So I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and then I was in a rehabilitation center for another 2 weeks after that. Wheelchair through the end of July, I believe. I don't really remember. I think it was July, end of July. And rehab was just, I knew that I wanted to jump again. So that kept me motivated, as well as, the community in general. They reached out a lot and that helped. And then my team, just like you said, any other professional team at any point, you have a catastrophic injury like that and you're pretty much done, you're written off. But my team was very supportive, and they filled the slot just for the year to stay competing. But they were totally on board with me coming back, and that was a big part of it as well. That helped to keep me motivated. And it really was just, you push and go through your PT and do all that stuff, and some days you push too hard and then you couldn't really move the next day, and then you take a break and then you just do it again, and that's kind of how it happens. You just got to do it.
And after the show, you can move to our YouTube channel and watch the full-length interview with Doug. You can also subscribe to this channel and click the bell button to always be informed about all our new videos. The FEI has just launched the Rookie Project for kids, the aim of which is to encourage children to become fascinated with flight in a fun and interactive way. The premise is simple: build a rookie model aircraft and learn how to fly it. A dedicated website has been set up for schools, clubs and individuals to discover exactly how to make use and fly the rookie planes. There are currently over 20 rookie experts in different countries who will assist anyone who needs help or encouragement to start a rookie project. The plan is to add more experts as the project progresses. There is also an online competition in which children can send in their best flight times. With an adult supervising and timing the flight, any child under 14 that is able to launch the aircraft themselves can enter. At the end of each year, the top 3 pilots will receive prizes and the top 10 pilots will receive certificates. Right then, from the small to the absolutely massive, the Stratos Launch's third successful takeoff and landing was performed last week in Nevada, USA. The aircraft features a twin fuselage design and the longest wingspan ever flown at 385 feet. That surpasses the huge H4 Hercules flying boat at 321 feet. The Stratos Launch is intended to carry 550,000 pounds payload and has 1,300,000 pound maximum takeoff weight. Incredible. This aircraft was built for Stratos Launch Systems by Scaled Composites to carry air launch to orbit rockets. Looks so impressive. My second special guest this week is a huge encyclopedia of skydiving and parachuting knowledge. This guy made his first skydive in 1986, and now with over 14,000 jumps and 25 years of instructional experience, he brings all his knowledge and wisdom to the world, teaching basic, advanced and instructor level canopy courses. He also runs an online group where skydivers get help and basically ask any questions about anything. This is Brian Germain.
So with you building parachutes, you're already, as a rigger and as a coach, you already got safety in your mind. But it starts to come to the forefront. You start to get really serious about safety and an educator in safety. How did that start for you?
Well, honestly, I was giving free fly seminars back in those days because, nobody really did it. And most skydivers just don't want to deal with giving a talk, or they don't feel worthy or something like that. And I was like, well, if somebody doesn't give a safety talk, people are going to have premature deployments. They're going to have collisions. Free flying was so new that people didn't know that you couldn't do it with an ROL, a leg strap throw-out pilot chute. They just didn't think of that. And so I started doing free fly seminars. And of course, when the competition stuff started to really grow and we were on TV, our names got out there and we started traveling and teaching. And, Quincy, of course, the World Free Fall Convention, giving talks on the big stage. And that was kind of a big deal. And Tony was always kind of shy in front of a big crowd. And so he'd like, Brian, come on, mate. I'm going to give a talk. And so it'd end up, he'd stand there, say hello, and I'd give the talk.
Right.
He didn't want to do it. And then I remember that early on, I wish I had the date. JC Colclaser was going to give one of the first swooping, sort of canopy control seminars.
Yeah.
And
this would have been like 97, 98, or maybe later.
At the latest. It could be earlier.
Yeah.
I think it was earlier than that, actually.
Wow.
And he was the man. Well, he was ripping it up on his Icarus Extreme. Yeah. And everybody wanted to know how to do this stuff.
This was quite a long interview with Brian, and you can watch it all on the Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel. Clicking the like and subscribe is always much appreciated. Let's dive into the world of paragliding, because the Skywalk manufacturer have released a brand new wing onto the market. This is the Iraq Air. The Iraq is the most versatile glider in model range and has made a name for itself as a real multi-tool, easy to handle and immediately inspires confidence. Its performance enables flights beyond the 300 kilometer mark, and its handling invites playful flying of any kind. The Iraq Air combines the concept of the Iraq with the technology of the X-Alps wings. At only 2.9 kilograms, the weight is not only reduced by 30%, but its packing size is also considerably smaller. So the ultralight glider fits into even the smallest backpack. Great stuff, guys. Do you remember the claustrophobic eVTOL we showed you last week? Whoa, each week it feels like we find another one for you, and this time this is more to my liking. Take a look at the Voler from Bellwether Industries. In the past 2 years, the company have conducted several phases of iteration to improve the flight performance of the Voler prototypes. Now they announced that the free flight test of the Voler was completed and achieved progress. The eVTOL developer is targeting the private urban aircraft market for intercity travel and has built the Voler as a compact vehicle with a hidden propulsion system. The final aircraft will measure 3.2 meters wide, which is about 1.5 meters wider than the average car. So the Bellwether team really need to hurry up with their development, because another flying car project from the Czech Republic has won its airworthiness certification. So let's move on to our new segment all about aviation athletes. And this time we look closer to the amazing Geraldine Fasnet. Geraldine Fasnet is a world-known freeride snowboarder, base jumper and wingsuit pilot. She is a pioneer who constantly draws new lines in the mountains with her snowboard and her wingsuit. Based in her favourite playground of Verbier in Switzerland, she gets inspired by the mountains and explores the most remote places on Earth. Be it from the depths of Antarctica to the top of the Matterhorn in Switzerland, she keeps pushing the level of her passions higher whilst balancing the risks. She loves sharing her adventures and stories through her conferences, and her content on social media is just brilliant. It's worth a watch of all her videos for sure. The Hall of Fame section? Yes, it's time. On the 23rd of January 1909, the Blériot 11 made its first flight near Paris, France. The airplane was flown by Louis Charles Joseph Blériot. It was a single-seat, single-engine monoplane, 26 feet long with a wingspan of 25 feet, and it had an empty weight of 507 pounds. On the 27th of January 2003, the final, very weak signal from the Pioneer 10 probe was received when it was 12 billion kilometers from Earth. The space probe was launched on the 2nd of March 1972 aboard an Atlas Centaur rocket. On the 23rd of January 1939, a Curtiss Hawk 75A pursuit plane, one of only 100 being constructed for the French government, substantially exceeded an all-known speed records with a free dive of more than 575 miles an hour. The tests were made by Lloyd Child, chief test pilot of the Buffalo Curtiss plant. On the 24th of January 1932, completing a round-trip flight from Paris to Hanoi, Indochine, and back to Paris, pilot Paul Joseph Cados and navigator Henry Robida flew the return leg in record time. The route of flight was Calcutta, Karachi, New Basra, Athens, Rome, Marseille, and finally Paris. And the total elapsed time was 3 days, 5 hours, and 40 minutes. So me and the team really love bringing you this show every week. It's a real pleasure to present all these interesting aviation items from around the world. And if you have any news from your region, don't hesitate to contact the team directly, or you can get in touch with me even on Twitter as well. Don't forget also to like our content and share it. And if you want, subscribe as well. Big thank you for doing this. We really do appreciate it. Let's end this episode with some amazing shots from hang gliding pilot Sebastian Cottin. We'll see you next week. But remember, as always, stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.